So this is Chase Carlson, a candidate for County Commissioner, position number 3. And Chase, the first thing I'm going to request is that you give us a 2-minute introduction as to why you are running for this position and your qualifications.
I want to be elected Coos County Commissioner number 3 because I want to help the citizens in the most need. One of the first concerns I have are to make citizens more secure due to the rise in crime and decriminalization of hard drug possession and revolving door policies. Criminals have more rights than the victims. The police force is limited to what it can do legally, so we need more officers to respond to calls in a timely manner and be an optical deterrence, at least making it inconvenient for criminals to commit crimes. We have to figure out some way to circumvent these policies, no matter how controversial they are. We need to utilize and improve the existing assets of Coos County and develop new ones. We need to help individuals that want to help themselves start their own businesses that otherwise couldn't. Strong leadership that will listen to all. We still can live for the future and not for the past. I've been married for 42 years. Julie and I have 2 of the best children you can ask for, James Edward and Jeffrey Joseph. I am 3rd generation logger. I started working in the woods at age 15 and started my own business at 19 in 1979. I retired after 43 years when my business spanned from Northern California to Alaska. I met many people from all walks of life, including many great loggers. I was also able to help many individuals go into business that thought it was impossible. My father died from complications after a serious logging accident left him quadriplegic. He remained a fighter to the very end, his final 13 months in intensive care with my mother at his side, nonstop. The most valuable lesson I learned from this is family first and never stop fighting. Life is short.
What are the primary responsibilities of a county commissioner? What relevant experience do you bring to the position?
Well, from what I can tell is that they basically oversee all the other departments. All the departments do most of the fact finding and work. They just monitor it and, of course, vote on it and ask questions to each department head and make their decisions basically on what the departments decide. My ability is, like say, 43 years in business. I started at a really young age, so I got a lot of hard knocks college work and learned a lot about people and other businesses that I was indirectly involved with, and also to manage money and limited budgets, and most importantly, dealing with a large crew and basically serving the needs of them as long as and making a profit at the same time.
What 3 issues facing the county would be your highest priority to address, and how would you go about it?
Probably bringing some new ideas in for sustainable business, utilizing the existing assets that the county has, and that's about it for right off the cuff here.
What do you see as problem areas in how Coos County government functions, and how would you address them?
Oh, I don't see any real problems other than that they're limited to budget constraints as far as their tax base and money they have to spend. There's also, I think everybody has the problem of increased crime and how to deal with it. That's probably all right now that I could think of.
What is your 10-year vision for the county and our South Coast community? What role should tourism and recreation play?
I think both of those dovetail with each other. I think you can still get more recreation and tourism, and also increase the employment.
What role should the county commissioners play in developing new industries and businesses in the county? Is this an active or a passive role?
It should be an active role. They've set their sights pretty high on a few things in the past that haven't turned out. I think we need to take a little simpler approach and maybe smaller businesses and more of them. And I think that's the whole thing. Introduce things that will work and bear fruit without costing millions of dollars, and also taking years to get going.
What can the county do to aid the unhoused population with issues such as shelter and physical and mental illness?
We'll just have to dedicate more funds to that, and just improve what the existing stuff that they have going forward through the health department and other departments that can afford to help do it.
The present Coos Bay Estuary Management Plan was approved in 1984 and is in need for revision. What will you do to ensure the process that began several years ago will continue and will include all available data from efforts begun under the Partnership for Coastal Watersheds Steering Committee and the Coos County Planning Director, tribal, and other local partners?
I stay the course of what they've got going, and then just try to embellish it a little more and improve as we go, and also take into consideration new information that has come up as far as environmental and endangered species and things like that.
With creation of the Elliott State Research Forest by the Oregon Legislature in the recent short session, Oregon State University is designated to manage the forest and lead its research program in fulfilling the interests agreed upon by the various stakeholders who helped shape a new future for the Elliott. What is your view of the solution arrived at by the legislature?
Oregon State University already owns 15,000 acres of research forests across the state. The Arboretum, Blodgett, Ramsdale, just to mention a few. There's no good reason to add another 82,000 acres when 15,000 acres has sufficed for years, if not decades. Excuse me. 34,000 acres will be put into a wildlife reserve. Most of the forests that OSU has are in closer proximity to the University in Corvallis. This makes it more cost effective in transportation alone, and no need for a remote lab in the Shutter Creek prison. The forest near the campus has the same characteristics as the Elliott. If the Shutter Creek prison is used, there will need to be extensive reconstruction and maintenance. And who will bear that cost? Ultimately, the taxpayers. The Oregon Department of Forestry did a wonderful job managing the forest using the Forest Practice Act and maintaining a sustained yield harvest, keeping the endangered species in a safe distance by using habitat conservation areas. They truly made it a multiple use forest for all. If the OSU forestry research feels it still needs a forest lab, then give them 15,000 acres of their choice in the Elliott. We should get back to cutting timber down and taking advantage of log prices that have more than quadrupled in the last few years with no end in sight. The revenue would be enormous for the legislature to spend. Even with the ESA, the spotted owl numbers continue to decline. Does anybody remember the barred owl? When man tries to fix Mother Nature usually wins.
What should the county do to address climate change in comprehensive land use planning, especially concerning forests and water quality and quantity?
I think that's about the same as what I just said. We just need to just continue practicing the Forest Practices Act that we have going, and improve it along the edges a little bit. But still pretty conservative on that. Being a logger, I've for 43 years, I've witnessed some bad acts, and then I've also seen how it's evolved as far as the industry lands go. And I don't see the county's lands any much different in that.
How can you assure the citizens of the county that land use managerial decisions consider environmental impacts and that conflicts of interest are made public?
Oh, I think, yeah, everything should be transparent as far as that goes. And as far as the laws on the books, just enforce those and maybe, like I say, improve the edges of them a little bit and get rid of some of the redundancy. I think it's being ran pretty. I think things are pretty good shape as far as that goes right now. Don't need to see a bunch of changes there.
And would you like to provide now a summary of why voters should support your candidacy?
Yeah, I sure will. Career politicians that have held elected government positions are easy to read in that they're always concerned with politics than the actual people affected by what they're doing. Some people aren't as they seem, so make sure you research a candidate thoroughly. I've never held an elected office. That's why I think I'm a better choice for commissioner, because I'm not bogged down with past politics or personal agenda issues. All I care about is taking care of Coos County's needs to the best of my abilities. This is my first effort at being a politician at age 63. Friends my age said I was going to regret it. After 40 years of running my own business, I came to a simple answer. I like helping people. So what better to begin with than Coos County, my home since birth? There are a lot of people in business that need help, even if it's just listening.
Thank you very much, Chase.
Thank you.